Today, I am breaking down a 7-round mock draft for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This video was originally posted on our Steelers channel, Steelers Talk by Chat Sports. If you want more NFL draft content, make sure to subscribe to this channel. And let me know in the comments right now, which team-specific mock draft should we do next? Should we do the Bears, maybe the Panthers, maybe Green Bay Packers? I don't know. Let me know your team in the comments section, and we'll get a video out for you. Steelers fans, it is that time again. We got another Steelers mock draft for you. It's my 6.0 version today after that first wave of NFL free agency. Going to get into it in just a second, but first, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel if you want to stay up to date on all of the Steelers news and rumors when it comes to the NFL draft. Here on the channel, we're going to have Steelers draft rumors just about every single day here on the channel. And then also we got prospect analysis, prospect rankings. We're going to be breaking down each position group that the Steelers need. And I'm going to be ranking the players in each of those positions here in the coming weeks. You're not going to want to miss that. And of course, just like today, we got a bunch of Steelers mock drafts. We have 5 other ones before this one. So if you want to check those out, you can do that right now. But we're also going to have mock drafts all the way up until the NFL draft hits in late April. So if you want more Steelers mock drafts, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Do it right now. All right, so before we get into this here, let's review what the Steelers have in terms of draft capital. So they got a first-round pick, number 17 overall. You get the second-round pick from Chicago thanks to the awesome Chase Claypool trade. Then you get your own, number 49 there in round 2, a third-round pick, a fourth-round pick, and then 2 seventh-rounders for 7 total picks. Now, before I reveal who I have the Steelers taking in round 1, I think that these 4 guys right here, these 4 gentlemen, are going to be their top draft targets. Now, I'm not taking any of these guys today in my mock draft because I think all 4 of these guys are going to be gone by the Steelers pick at number 17. And because I'm not trading up in this mock draft, I think that somebody else is going to be going to the Steelers at number 17. But I think that if any one of these 4 guys is on the board at number 17, they're going to take probably for sure the offensive tackle. If one of these guys, especially like Broderick Jones, is the most likely to make it to the Steelers at number 17, the Steelers are going to pull the trigger on that. They're going to bring in their future left tackle. And then Brian Branch, with Terrell Edmunds leaving, maybe they don't get a safety in free agency. I think that Brian Branch right now should be the betting favorite to be the Pittsburgh Steelers pick at number 17. But in my mock draft, he goes earlier than number 17. So that's just the way I have it going. So just so you guys know that. Now, before I get into my first-round pick here, I want to know who you want the Steelers to draft in round 1. Is it one of those top offensive tackles? Is it Brian Branch to replace Terrell Edmunds? Let me know in the comments section right now who's your guy in round 1 that you want to see in black and gold next year. This is the pinned comment on today's show. So whenever YouTube throws an ad break your way here in just a couple seconds, go ahead, go into that comment section and answer today's question. So without further ado here, let's get into my first round pick here. Yes, Joey Porter Jr. I have held off on this long enough. I have not had a mock draft with Joey Porter Jr. as the first pick for the Steelers yet, and it's about due, guys. Joey Porter Jr., man, he is a fantastic prospect in my opinion. Now, he's a little rough around the edges, can get grabby from time to time. The hip fluidity isn't necessarily what you would think is elite. It's good. It's not great. Some people think that he could actually transition to be a really, really good safety in the National Football League. But with the Steelers cornerback situation right now, they got a bunch of pretty darn good veterans on their roster. Ahkello Witherspoon, somebody that's kind of iffy. Let's see how his hamstring holds up next year. When he's healthy, he can be a really good football player. You also got Levi Wallace, and of course, Patrick Peterson. You bring him in to mentor that next cornerback 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And in my opinion, that is Joey Porter Jr. And if I'm Joey Porter Jr., I'm right by my bed every single night, and I am praying that I end up with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin. This is the perfect scenario for him because he doesn't have to play right away. He doesn't have to be that cornerback 1 right away. He can learn from Patrick Peterson. He can learn from Ahkello Witherspoon. He can learn from Levi Wallace, who has some of the best smarts in the National Football League. This is the perfect situation for him to develop that incredible physical talent. He's got some of the longest arms you're ever going to see from a cornerback prospect. He runs extremely quickly for his size. He is a good tackler. He's a hard hitter. This guy has Pittsburgh Steeler written all over him. If that's not enough, he grew up with Mike Tomlin's kids in the Pittsburgh area. I mean, everything is lining up for this guy to be the pick for the Steelers at number 17. I couldn't hold off on taking him in one of my mock drafts any longer. I have the Steelers going with this guy in round 1. And in just a second here, we're going to get into the rest of this Steelers mock draft. But first, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Athletic Greens. I drink AG1 by Athletic Greens literally every day, and I love it. Get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I gave AG1 a try because I wanted more sustained energy throughout my day and wanted a supplement that actually tastes great. I take AG1 in the morning, and it makes me feel ready to take on my day. AG1 combines all of your key health products in one convenient and tasty beverage. And in my line of work, guys, especially during NFL free agency, sometimes you have to put in those long hours. So AG1 helps me feel energized and sharp so I can be at my best no matter how busy my schedule gets. Covering my nutritional basis for the day literally couldn't be any easier, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. I just mix 1 small scoop of AG1 with 12 ounces of water and drink it first thing each morning. Done. Simple. Easy. I also like that it costs less than $3 a day, which is definitely less than the Starbucks you're drinking every single morning. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality source ingredients, which is a win-win for you and your health. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplemental routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Check it out. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Now let's get into round 2 here, and this might be a little bit of wishful thinking, guys. I'm not going to lie. But right now I'm hoping, I am praying that Jordan Addison falls to the Steelers at number 32 overall. People are doubting this guy after not having the greatest 40 time in the world, right? A 4.49 at the combine. People are saying, oh, this guy stinks. This guy's slow. I can't believe that for 1 second. I've seen this guy on film. This guy runs some of the crispest routes. Like, he's so clean. He is so good at separating in-man coverage. This guy should be a first-round pick. He should be maybe even a top 20 pick. He definitely has the talent for that. I think that this guy's going to be fantastic, and if he somehow falls to the Steelers at number 32, you have to take him. Guys like Jordan Addison just don't grow on trees, man. This guy is an elite route runner. He's got really good body control. He's going to get open for you on 3rd down. He's going to get open for you wherever you are on the field. This guy is a fantastic talent, and then he also has established chemistry with Kenny Pickett, so you know he can come in on day 1 and perform for you. And if he falls to number 32, man, that chemistry, that ability to get open. I know that the Steelers are okay at wide receiver right now. They're in a good spot. But if he falls to 32, you just have to go best player available here, and you need to draft Jordan Addison, in my opinion. But the big question is he going to fall to round 2? I don't think that the Steelers are really looking at drafting him in round 1. I think they'd rather go another direction than wide receiver. But if one of these top guys, like Zay Flowers or Jackson Smith-Njigba or, yes, Jordan Addison, one of these guys falls to number 32, I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if the Steelers open up day 2 of the NFL draft by taking wide receiver. So go in the comment section right now and tell me, what is the % chance that Jordan Addison is there for the Steelers in round 2? Scale it on a scale of 0 to 100. Give me a % chance of the likelihood of Jordan Addison being there to join the Steelers in round 2. Next up here, we're going to be addressing nose tackle here with maybe the strongest nose tackle prospect in this year's draft class. Now, it's close between Keanu Benton, Siaki Ika, and Mazi Smith for that title, but man, I love Keanu Benton's strength mixed with his athleticism and quickness coming out of his stance. I think that this guy has the potential to be a really, really good pass rusher from the nose tackle position. That's something that is extremely rare, guys. If you wanted to go the safe route here, you could probably go Mazi Smith from Michigan, somebody that's incredibly strong, great run stuffer, all that good stuff. But Keanu Benton is just a little bit under Mazi Smith in that category, but he has the incredible upside of being a pass rusher as well, and putting him in those nickel packages as he develops. This guy's one of the strongest players in this year's NFL draft class. I think he would be a fantastic addition to this Steelers defensive line that already has an all-pro talent in Cameron Hayward playing the 3 technique. Larry Ogunjobi just recently re-signed playing that 5 technique. and then you put in Keanu Benton here and to replace Montravius Adams, who did not have a good 2022 campaign. I think you can bring him in. He's going to be able to play for you day one. He's going to be a really good player in the middle of your defense. Then we get to round 3 here, and I have them taking an inside linebacker, Dorian Williams from Tulane. And right now, I have Dorian Williams as my number 2 inside linebacker in this entire draft class, above Drew Sanders and above Diane Henley. I think Dorian Williams has a fantastic physical profile, man. He absolutely blew up the combine a couple of weeks ago. This guy's a freak. This guy's really good in pass coverage. And as Steelers fans know, with the signings of Landon Roberts and Cole Holcomb, who are both kind of blitzing tight ends, aggressive tight ends, those sorts of things, you need a pass coverage or linebacker now, right? You need somebody like Dorian Williams, who's, in my opinion, arguably the best coverage linebacker in this year's draft class. I would probably actually give that title to Jack Campbell, who is my number 1 linebacker. But man, Dorian Williams, 6'2", 225. He's not quite as big as Jack Campbell, which is why he's not number 1, but he's one of the best coverage linebackers in this year's draft class. And right now, Pro Football Focus says that his value is about a 3rd-round pick. I'm taking that value all day long if I am the Steelers. Then in round 4, another value pick here. Now, you don't get Brian Branch in the 1st round, okay? But Jartavius Martin from Illinois, nickel cornerback / safety. This guy, in my opinion, is Brian Branch light. I think that this guy at 6 foot, 195 pounds, has the versatility to play strong safety, free safety, and nickel cornerback at the National Football League level. Right now, his teammate, Sidney Brown, another safety, is getting a lot of attention, which is why Jartavius is kind of going down the list a little bit here. But man, this guy is one freaking good football player. He tackles well. He's got good athleticism. He sticks well in man coverage. He has good instincts in zone coverage. He can play a multitude of different positions. And I think because of Sidney Brown and Devin Witherspoon and all these other star players that were in that Illinois defense, I think this guy's kind of been like put down a peg, and I just think it's unfair. I watch this guy's film. I watch that Illinois defensive film, and I'm watching Devin Witherspoon or Sidney Brown. I'm trying to evaluate those guys constantly. I'm looking at this Jartavius Martin guy just constantly making plays, and I'm wondering, how is this guy not ranked higher? I think that this guy's going to be a really good player, and if you can't get Brian Branch in the 1st round, I think getting Jartavius Martin in the 4th round is an incredible value, and he's going to be a day 1 starter for you. He's going to be a really good player for a very long time in the National Football League. And like I said, he's a light version of Brian Branch. Now, he's not quite as good as Brian Branch. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a 1st round top 10 talent that you can get in the 4th round. That's not the case. Okay, Brian Branch is a different kind of dude. Like I think he's faster. He's a better tackler. You know, Brian Branch does everything that Jartavius Martin does well, better, right? But Martin still does things very, very well. He's going to be a good pro in the league. And plain simply, Mike Tomlin loves his versatile chess pieces in the defense. Jartavius Martin can definitely be that for him. Now we got 2 picks here in the 7th round. I'm going to use those 2 picks on B.J. Thompson, an outside linebacker, edge rusher from Stephen F. Austin. Still incredibly raw, has pretty much no pass rushing skill set in terms of finesse moves, in terms of hand fighting. He needs to learn everything about the position. He's a former defensive back, and let me tell you guys, he looks the part in coverage, right? He's got really fluid hips. He is fast. He is explosive coming out of his stance. I mean, I fell in love with this kid when I was watching practice film from the practice at the Shrine Bowl, and I was like, who is this guy, man? This guy is an electric first step. He's got long arms and legs. I mean, this guy is a fantastic physical prospect. He's going to take a little bit of time to cook in the oven here when he gets to an NFL franchise. He's probably going to go round 7 or 6 here based on his current value. But I think if you're the Steelers and you know you can develop outside linebacker talent, you're looking at this guy as a ball of clay that you're going to turn into a beautiful sculpture, man. And then you got Noah Gindorf, the tight end here. My last pick, I think that Noah Gindorf, really good player as well, bigger tight end, blocking tight end. Steelers are trying to establish that power run game here. I think that with Pat Freiermuth, Connor Hayward being kind of smaller receiving type tight ends, Noah Gindorf is the type of guy that I want to bring in, a bigger dude, a mauler, somebody with also receiving upside as well. Dealt with a major injury last season with the NDSU Bison, but I think that if he comes back healthy and the medicals check out, I think that he would be a great value here at number 7. My mock draft here in totality, we got Joey Porter Jr., bringing him home. All right, bringing the dude home here, first-round pick. Then you got Kenny Pickett, his favorite college weapon in round 2. Jordan Addison. Is it wishful thinking? Maybe, but guess what? It's my mock draft. I can do what I want. All right, so we got Keanu Benton. Also in the second round, your future nose tackle. You got a starting linebacker day 1 in Dorian Williams. You got Chartavius Martin to be your day 1 starting strong safety, which I love, or nickel cornerback, either one. And then you got B.J. Thompson, who could be a future star outside linebacker, in my opinion. And then you got Noah Gindorf, somebody that's going to come in right away, be your blocking tight end. That's 7 potential day 1 contributors. We have 8 up there. That is my bad, guys. We got 7 potential day 1 contributors on day 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers in this mock draft. Now, you might be asking yourself right now, Jack, why didn't you take an offensive tackle? Now, I understand why people might be saying that, so let me address that. Dan Moore Jr., it seems like the Steelers are going to be trying to replace him. Dan Moore Jr., somebody that they drafted a couple years ago. He played okay down the stretch as the season went on last year. And some people say, let's keep him around, keep that continuity. Other people say, let's replace him. And I think the Steelers are trying to replace him, but if they're gonna pull the trigger on that, I think it's going to be for somebody that they think is absolutely 100% going to play over Dan Moore Jr. next year. Now, in the second round, right, past the first round, these are going to be your options at offensive tackle, because if Broderick Jones, Peter Skoronski, and Paris Johnson Jr. are gone by the Steelers' pick, these are the guys that you're left with. So these are my thoughts. This is why I didn't pull the trigger for any of these guys. Anton Harrison is more of a zone outside or offensive tackle, in my opinion. He doesn't have the play strength to play in that power run scheme that the Steelers are trying to establish, so I don't think that he's on their radar. Then DeJuan Jones, on the other hand, is powerful enough. The guy is a freaking massive human being. I mean, this guy is the Mount Everest of human beings. This guy is huge. The wingspan broke the freaking record at the NFL Combine. All right, this guy's a powerful dude. He's going to be a mauler in the league, but the thing is, he's not a left tackle, and the same thing goes with Darnell Wright. If you're trying to replace Dan Moore Jr., you need to get somebody that can play on the left side. Darnell Wright has tried playing on the left side before. Didn't go too well. He's more of a right tackle in the league, in my opinion. So that's why I'm passing on both of those guys. Then you got Matthew Bergeron, who's an intriguing prospect. He's got the physical capabilities to be a really good tackle in the league. But he kind of plays a little scared. He doesn't play tough. He doesn't play with a powerful mauler mindset, in my opinion. He's a pretty solid prospect. I think a zone team like a Miami Dolphins or San Francisco 49ers or a New York Jets really going to like Matthew Bergeron. But for the Steelers that are trying to establish a ground and pound type of football, don't think Bergeron's their dude. And then Jalen Duncan, he's got the physical capabilities. He's just not good at football, man. Playing simply. He doesn't have the footwork. He doesn't have the hand placement right now. He doesn't have anything that you look for in a starting left tackle in the National Football League. And this guy is not better than Dan Moore Jr. right now, so I don't think the Steelers take him. So that's why I have them passing on an offensive tackle here in my mock draft. So instead, I'm going to sign a free agent. I'm going to sign Donovan Smith, formerly played with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's been a really good tackle in this league for a long time. Has played in a power run scheme before. 6'6", 338 pounds. This guy is a mauler. And I'm going to sign him to a 1-year, $8 million prove-it type of deal. Because, you know, last year when Tampa Bay did not have a good season whatsoever, 6 sacks allowed for this guy. But I think that he still has enough in the tank to give him a shot. Now, if he stinks, he doesn't play well, you know you have a guy in Dan Moore Jr. that's played in the NFL that can play well and all that good stuff. I'm just not going to take somebody in the draft that's a bad fit for the Steelers if it doesn't come to that. But if one of those top 3 guys, Peter Skoronski, Paris Johnson Jr., or Broderick Jones is available, then sign me up 100%. But, I mean, the likelihood of that happening at this point with as many teams that need offensive tackle, you got the Bears, you got Philly, you got Tennessee, you got New York, you got Washington ahead of the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. My guess is those 3 tackles are not going to be available. So go and get a veteran that has been good in this league, that you know can run this power run scheme, and somebody that you know can potentially play well for you in 2023. All right, so that's going to do it for today's mock, guys. Grade my Steelers mock draft now that you have the full context there. A, B, C, D, or F. Get down in the comment section right now, guys. I can't wait to see what you guys think of this mock. You guys really enjoyed the last one. Hopefully, I keep rising up there, keep getting better and better. I guess we'll see in the comment section.